To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here outside of the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast. Like, subscribe, share, donate. positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. It is so sunny here, I can't even see the screen on my computer. Questions, concerns, or comments, hit me up on my website, positivesarcasm.com. You can hit the donate section. It's on the contact section as well. Go ahead, even if it's $1. It's $1. You're supporting independent causes. And, of course, you can hit me up directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Questions, concerns, comments. You can also hit me up on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You have to request, though. You have to request. Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Rumble, and YouTube. And pretty much anywhere else where you can find podcasts. It's a beautiful sunny day here, New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast. I got a 50-something pound plot hound chilling on the deck with a big bowl of ice cube water. I'm sitting here with a bottle of mezcal and some raspberry iced tea, unsweetened. Got very little cares in the world right now. It's like 90-something degrees. Got a trickle charger on the Mustang. Might take it out again this afternoon. It's a beautiful day here. And it got even better. It seems like these life decisions that I'm making that literally just require a little bit of education, some studying, and overall action of picking and choosing my battles over the course of a few years seem to be paying off even more. As I have recently declared my victory against Comcast, dropping my bill from $90. It was going to go from $60. It was $60, then it was going to go to $93. And then, what do you know, Fidium showed up. Fidium Fiber showed up. Faster and cheaper. My bill went down like 60%. Isn't it amazing? It's almost as cheap as my phone bill, which with Verizon was $57 a month, which is now $20 a month. What else could I do this year? There's so many things going as far as like all that goes. Are there any other ways to save money? Honestly, if you dedicate your time to saving money and getting richer and getting wealthier and getting happier and getting stronger, you can do it. You really can. And it's basically where that perpetual motion of if good things are starting to happen for all this effort that you're putting forth, this will exponentially expand to other things as well. As long as you put yourself in a good environment. If you're sitting there complaining about how much your life sucks and how you're not doing anything to change it, yeah, it'll get perpetually worse. You may be too drugged up to see it. You may be too surrounded by retards to realize it, to understand it. But it's there. The opportunities are there. I just got a report. I didn't think it was true. Where are you going, Mr. Chase Michaels? He's laying in the grass. I just received some even more good news. I didn't think this was real. This is a little local. I want you guys to understand this in states that don't have this. The amount of fortune, the good fortune I have. And it's not just by luck. It's just by putting myself in an environment that gives me the chance to succeed. Little breaks here and there that ultimately go a long way. So I didn't think it was real. Now, most states require state inspections for your car. And depending upon what state you live in and where you go and the regulations of those states, there's a lot of repair bills. Not only do you have to pay for the inspection of your vehicle, which generally is around $40, $50. It's good money right there. You could buy a lot of ground beef with that money. Buy a couple tanks of gas with that money. But then on top of that, they fail you for your windshield wipers. Maybe you got a ball joint that's seen better days that you could probably put on yourself. Or, I don't know, you tuned your car, now it doesn't meet emissions or something stupid. No, granted, don't get me wrong, shit breaks. And it is on you to make sure that you take care of your vehicle. But we're talking, depending upon where you are, you may not have those options. And your repair bill will cost you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Anybody got that money? I know back in the day I didn't. But in the great state of New Hampshire, apparently the state turning the corner for the better. Smart. There is a no seatbelt law. Take that for what you will. I wear my seatbelt. It's probably a smart thing to do. We haven't legalized weed yet, but I think we'll get there. Depending upon what Maine does. If you're getting a little wind in the microphone right now, I don't care. It's because I'm outside and it's breezy. It's 93 degrees. This is how it should be. This is how beautiful life can be. Look at that marsh behind me. It doesn't smell either. It's beautiful. In the morning, deer trek through the marsh. You can watch the beautiful wildlife. And just down the road, right there, it's a 5-minute walk, is the ocean. I can hear it in the morning. I can hear it at night. It's beautiful. It smells so good. And it's only getting better. As of January 2026, that's only like 6-7 months away. The state of New Hampshire is officially repealing the mandatory vehicle state inspection law. Emissions and mechanical. You no longer have to pay $50 to have your car inspected and for the mechanic to tell you there's something chintzy wrong with it. No more. You already pay enough money for your vehicle as is and the regular maintenance that goes into it. No more. Now, for me, this is a blessing. Because ultimately, it's like, okay, what mechanic am I going to take it to? Who am I going to trust? They could fail a car 1 year after it was literally rolling off the showroom floor, depending upon where you go. People don't have time for that. There's so much stuff going on. They're too busy doom scrolling on Instagram to have time to find a better mechanic who knows a thing or two about cars. Who says, yeah, your car's all fine. Runs an emissions test on it, and yeah, says, yeah, you're good to go. You don't got to deal with that fucking checkered BS anymore. Just register your car. For me, because my cars run older, $150, $175, boom, you're on the road. How awesome is that? From all of my bills dropping, even my electric has gone down here, which is crazy. It's crazy. Even my electric has gone down here. Hallelujah. It feels so good to be alive. And the more prosperous my life has become, and the more opportunity I have to be even more successful just as a human being and a happier and less angry individual, the less and less I give a shit about places like Washington State, Massachusetts, Maine, that shithole New York City, who's like apparently one fucking nose ring away from hiring arguably the shittiest mayor in the world, who wants to defund the police and get state-run grocery stores. You do realize that a state-run item, that's a monopoly. That creates a monopoly. A state-run monopoly is just as bad as a corporate monopoly. I'll give you some examples here. Comcast. They have a duopoly or a monopoly in the area. That means they have no competition, which means they can jack up their prices. You don't like it? Too fucking bad. Central Maine Power, CMP. The one and only electricity utility place in the state of Maine for electricity. At one time, they were ranked the worst in the entire United States. That's saying something. In the entire United States, they charge through the roof. Not to mention the fact that you have state taxes in Maine that you have to pay. You have a sales tax, and they take money out of your paycheck as well. So that's a monopoly. That's a corporate monopoly. Comcast, that was a monopoly. CMP, that's a monopoly. State-run or city-run grocery stores, that's a monopoly. Oh, yeah, we control the prices. To what end? To what end? They did that, I think, about 100 years ago. The Soviet Union, maybe you heard of it. Everybody starved. I think like 5 to 7 million Ukrainians died. A little bit of capitalism is good, folks. Just to let you know that. A little bit of capitalism is good. A little bit of republic is good. I don't know about the rumors in Washington State about these $120,000 for buying a home reparations to black folk. Quite frankly, I think black folk are perfectly capable of buying their own houses. I think they're paid the same money. I think they're given greenbacks just like the rest of us. Not sure what's going on over there. You understand that when you do something based on race, there's a counterbalance. Just saying. You give a white person. I'm gonna go down this road. I don't give a shit. You give a white person $120,000 a home, and the home seller, the seller knows that they can jack up their rates. If they know their buyers are going to be predominantly white, that means that buyer is going to have $120,000 towards the state, from the state or from the government, wherever, doesn't matter. If they know their buyers are predominantly white, they're going to jack up their price to $120,000. And guess what? You can call that racist. Doesn't matter. Seller's going to do what the seller's going to do. If there is a demand for a price, for a piece of real estate, for a stock, for a watch, doesn't matter. First of all, Pablo Picasso, you think he gives a shit about how much people buy for his paint? He's dead, first of all. But the seller's going to charge $175 million for artwork. He doesn't care. If somebody's willing to buy it, that's what he's going to sell it for. I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know what they're doing in these states. I don't know what these retarded legislators are doing in Massachusetts about AC being optional. I don't know what's up with that. It's all just noise to me at this point. Because it seems to me like my state is getting better and better as the days go on. Granted, houses over here are expensive. Rent over here is a little expensive. But if I want to compare it to other places, like the state above me or the state below me, got to be honest. I think we're hanging in there. I don't know this mayor. Excuse me, not this mayor. I don't know this governor. Never met her before in my life. Pretty sure I was jogging alongside of her one day, but she wasn't a governor then. Don't remember. Seems to be making some of the right decisions. My rent hasn't gone up. Price of food for me is doing pretty well. I just left the shitty area where they were. I'll get into that in a second. I don't know what's going on with these other places. Shootings haven't gone down in Chicago, I can tell you that. That place is still a shithole. I haven't cared in the last 15 years. Why would I care now? Why would I care about what's going on in fucking Washington State or New York City? Oh, well, those people are going to sell all their places and move here. Yeah, they might. They might. Here's the problem, though. How are they going to sell their places? Who are they going to sell it to? Are New Yorkers, tax-paying New Yorkers really just going to abandon their real estate? If they own it, if they have a mortgage on it, they have to be able to sell it. Where are they going to go? And if there's a flea tax, and what I mean by a flea tax, I believe California has this. Or Canada definitely has it. Basically, if you leave a state, you're forced to pay a certain amount of money in order to leave that state. It's pretty wild. It's an awful lot of bullshit if you ask me. I basically went from living in the past 3 years, I went from living in a college dorm room, to living basically by New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast with just a lot of effort and a lot of focus and patience. It's pretty awesome. Let me read more about this state inspection thing. So it's official. But I can't believe it. This is basically just another thing that is a celebration for my pocket. Seriously. Like, you fucking progressive white folks don't get it. You really just don't. You're too fucking stupid. You're so focused on everybody else that you're not focused on yourself. You want to take money out of my pocket? Fuck you. Come get it. I left that area. This is another huge win. Yeah, I'm talking a little local, but I want you guys to realize how great your state could be if you just, acted more like mine to some degree. My state definitely had its weirdness, especially in our largest city. Murder, theft, homelessness, diversity, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. A lot of refugees. But we got no sanctuary. There is no sanctuary towns or city in this state. We don't play that game here. New Hampshire vehicle inspections will no longer be required beginning next year. Oh, we also have no state income tax here, no sales tax here. It's pretty awesome. New Hampshire drivers will no longer need to get their vehicles inspected starting next year, after Governor Kelly Ayotte signed the new state budget into law Friday afternoon. A provision of the budget that was tacked on will do away with vehicle inspections as of January 31st, 2026. It was an absolute condition for House Republicans to pass the budget during the negotiation process. Ah, beautiful breeze. Emissions testing will also be repealed by the end of next September. Ah, nice. Although the new New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services is allowed to get a waiver from the Environmental Protection Agency that can remove it sooner. The process to get that waiver approved is happening quickly. Quotes. As of now, all New Hampshire vehicles will need a safety inspection. New one is needed every year. Costs of $50 for each vehicle. The required sticker is commonly seen on the windshields. Officials with the New Hampshire Automobile Dealers Association see the decision to move away from the system as dangerous. They point to winter weather causing problems with cars that come into shops and wonder what will happen with the quality of secondhand cars that are sold. It's a good point. But I already see a shit ton of shit boxes on the road already. It'll have a cascading effect one way or another. Doesn't mean that you don't have the option to take it to someplace and go, tell me what you think is wrong. Tell me what you see. Because now the used car dealership no longer has the obligation to bring this car into state inspection. They don't have to tack on brakes and rotors. You can buy it for cheap and go have it done yourself. Or do it yourself. You can just buy a car that maybe needs a couple things and it'll cost you a few grand less to purchase, and then you can do it yourself. There's a lot of options here with it. But it is on you. The responsibility and the onus is on you, just as an individual, to go and take care of these things. If your tie rod blows up on the highway and you go smashing into a guardrail, that's on you. You should have had it looked after. Should have had it looked at. That doesn't take much. Back to the article. Quote, we want the roads to be safe, and we take a lot of pride in that. By eliminating the safety inspection program, we're throwing it all out the window, said Jason LaCroix, chairman of the New Hampshire Automobile Dealers Association. Whatever. Republican caucus sees it as a win for drivers. They said it gets rid of major costs for car owners, and drivers can still inspect their car if they want without getting a big bill for mandatory repairs or getting a new car altogether. Quote, it's a scam, really, because the data shows, I don't know what data this is, but we'll go with it, that's forcing car inspections doesn't actually lead to safety. It can lead to $1,000 bills that average people weren't expecting. Sam Farrington of Rochester. The decision also calls into question what the change will mean for mechanics and how business will be impacted. Vice president of the Ron's Toy Shop in Manchester. I've driven by there many times in my life. Was raised around cars. He started working with his dad at the business far back in the early 1990s, getting his master's from General Motors and Toyota for certified repairs. I don't know about much life outside of cars, but I don't know much about life outside of cars. So it's like my life is 100% based on them, he said jokingly. Part of the family business is safety inspections, which can only be issued by state licensed inspectors or authorized dealers such as Ron's Toy Shop. He doesn't see much business He doesn't see business changing in the long term. He expects some short-term dips. For him, no matter if the vehicle is old or new, everyone needs repairs no matter what the law says. At any given time, things can happen. He said one pothole, you could have a bad ball joint, and then in there, bing, bang, boom, done. So these are things that can absolutely happen just right off the bat. So, but now the onus is on you, the individual, to get shit done. Something I love. Something I absolutely love. This allows me to not scrape as much. Now, I don't scrape really, but I do pay attention to everything that's going on financially with myself. It's a focal point of my life. I've learned to enjoy myself a little bit more. But I haven't taken my foot off the accelerator. There's still a lot of stuff I need to do. I'm definitely playing from behind. I know that. Especially since that last wedding I went to. It makes me understand. It's like, I'm definitely playing from behind. I got a lot of work to do. But I'm glad I know that now. At least I know. At least I know what work I have to do in order to get there. I can teach that. I can tell people that. I'm in an environment that gives me that chance. But picking and choosing my battles means that emotionally I can get better. Because if it's really no big deal at the end of the day, I'm going to realize that, and I can move on. I don't have to cry over one little scrape. But it doesn't mean I get to keep my mouth shut about it. These little victories that I'm getting, they're big. Don't get me wrong. They're big, though. These little dollars here and there. This time here and there. This time to relax. I'm enjoying this a lot. I have the option of doing this. Instead of sitting in the studio, I could sit out here. It's pretty awesome. But I did want to talk shit about my former landlord before I parted ways on this beautiful podcast day. My former landlord, of course, was a large property management company that had kind of a monopoly on the properties in a college town that I recently just left. And this is the silliness that I talk about. This stupid shit. Absolutely bullshit. And I had the paperwork here. Everybody knows you get a security deposit. You have a security deposit, and when you leave your place, when you're done, you generally get it back. But a lot of these large property places, they're like Ticketmaster. They could charge you fees and stuff for no reason. I left my place a month early, too, and I shut my electricity off. I even unplugged the refrigerator. I was that fucking ticky-tack. My security deposit was about $1,050. It's been sitting in there for 3 years. What did I get a check back for? $917. Why? Because they charged me for the last month's electric, which was $25. And to manage it, utility management fee, $25. They're that fucking chintzy. They charged me $50 for a place I was not residing in, that I shut the electric off on, that I unplugged the fridge on. But they gotta have the money. $50. Not done yet. They offered me, I had the blinds. Have you ever been to these apartments where they have those blinds, the ones that, you unscrew the thing, and then they open, they close, they open, they close? They break all the fucking time. You guys know what I'm talking about. They break all the time. They offered, like several months prior to my exit, free ones. This place was trash, first of all. They never renovated the fucking place. Torrington Properties. Fuck them. They offered to replace them for free. For free? I'm like, no. The place is trashed. Do it when I exit the property. You could do all your renovations when I exit because you didn't do them for the last 3 years, so I don't care. I'm leaving. You could do it all then. Part of this move-out statement. Damage. 3 broken blinds. $120. I'm sorry, what? You're charging me $120 for 3 broken blinds that you offered to replace for free? Like 6 months prior? Now, normally, I would email the property manager and go, per this last email, why are you charging me for this when you offered to install it for free 6 months prior? I look at it. It's so confusing. Balance, pet fee, residential charge. Okay. Residential rent charge, 27 days, $0. Security deposit credit, blah, blah, blah. And then I just see minus, plus, prorate, damage, amount to be refunded, prorate, electricity, $5.06 to $5.27, $24.68. They couldn't eat it themselves. I wasn't even living there. The place was swept and mopped and abandoned. And I paid for that month. I paid for that month to not even live there, and they still had to get their $50. How fucking retarded is that? Did I email them? No. No, I didn't. Why? Fucking who cares? That's picking and choosing your battles. I fought with them plenty. But that is the price you pay to exit hell. to exit a monopoly. I had a choice. I took advantage of it. I got out of there. And this, because I pick and choose my battles a little better as of recently, this is the fruit of my labor. A bottle of aged mezcal to my right, hanging out with my oversized peeps. If you're watching the video, you'll understand the reference. A 90-degree day and some nice linens. Beautiful dog sleeping in the grass, freshly mowed by me, by the way. And you realize, you know what's funny? How cheap maintenance equipment is for a lawn. I paid $38 for a weed whacker on eBay. The thing works fucking awesome. I did the whole lawn on like one battery. Came with like a saw blade. Came with like a trim, the plastic one that fucking broke. Came with a regular one, and then it came with this giant like saw blade. I'm like, I generally mow the lawn in flip flops. I had a family member did that once. Literally almost cut his toes off. But I'm not putting a saw blade on a weed whacker. Little too Final Destination-y for me. But it's so fulfilling to just go out there and mow the lawn and weed whack. It feels good to do that. So what? 3 broken blinds, they charge me $120-something or whatever. Who the fuck knows? So I got a check for, I don't know, $150 less. Fine. Whatever. The place fucking sucked anyways. All they're going to do is renovate it, put in some new shitty furniture and flooring, toss it all in the trash, buy some new shit, jack up the fucking rent for some other college retard who's going to get blown out at the end of his residency at some insert bullshit college. I'm going to jack the rate up on him or her or them at this fucking point. Who cares? I had the choice to leave, though. These people in these other states bitching and moaning, it's like, you could go somewhere else. New York, I don't know what they're going to do. You got to sell your property or get out of there or something. But you have a choice. I had a choice to leave Manchester. I had a choice to leave Durham. I had a choice to leave Concord. I had a choice to leave where I grew up, where I went to high school. I had choices. I've moved to so many different places, and now I'm here. I hung around the seacoast literally for 10 minutes, and I knew I wanted to get back here. And then I came back for a short term, and then had to leave. I had a plan to get back sooner. Didn't work out. But oh boy, did I come back with a fucking vengeance. I have no sympathy. No sympathy for any of these people. I don't give a fuck about Durham. I don't give a fuck about any of those people in those states. Massachusetts, who cares? You guys had 1,000+ brawl or whatever down on Revere Beach. You come to our beaches and fuck things up because your beaches suck. All your beaches suck. Every beach in Massachusetts sucks. They all suck. They're full of assholes. You come to our beach and cause our cops to have to work overtime and deal with your bullshit. Get the fuck out. I'm going to be super local today. Because I worked so hard and got so focused and so patient and so driven to get to this little spot. I don't want other people coming here and fucking up my shit. I got my principles to protect. I got my work ethic to protect. I got my boomer neighbors to look after. I get nothing. This is really, honestly, the complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm stating a fact that you people who just are voting in change because you want something for cheaper or something for free. Not for cheaper, but for free. Shows that you have no ethic. You have no ethic. You have no work ethic. You have no drive. You have no muscle mass. You have no mental mass. You're just dumb. You're dumb. You're not even educated. You're just indoctrinated. I'm staring up at a blue sky and a beautiful sun. This wasn't hard, to be honest with you. Looking back on it now, didn't feel that hard. I could have done this 10 years ago. Could have done this 20 years ago. If I just known. If I was just a little more educated. but not in the way educated that you guys are. I don't know. I truly find it fascinating when I see that stuff online. It's like, what part of it is true? There's obviously a middle ground. Like that reparations law that was in what do you call it? In Washington State. I think that got vetoed. But it was on the books. It was on the books. That's the crazy part. Massachusetts, I don't know. I heard some legislatures there about whether or not you were allowed to use your air conditioning. It's like, what? It's like, what are you on about? What are you on about? People die in that situation when they don't have AC. I think there was one more article here I wanted to look at really quickly before we parted ways. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. Kind of blinded by the fact that I'm out here in the beautiful weather. What was this shit? Oh, yeah. So I made another choice about 5 years ago not to get the fucking jab. Could have meant like my career, basically. I was like, fuck you, I'll move to Florida. I'll go back to my roots. And what just came out the other day? The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. One acronym I definitely didn't trust for many, many years. They announced that a new safety warning label will be added to the all mRNA COVID vaccines. So that was Moderna and Pfizer, citing a significantly increased risk of myocarditis, which is damage to the heart, and long-term health effects in young men. Gee, it kind of makes you wonder if they knew that all along. Another option that you can take into your own hands is your own health, your own decision making. I spend my health insurance deductible at the grocery store. So do you want to spend your deductible on vegetables or on physicals and convenient MD and ER visits and fucking myostatins and Ozempic? Or do you just want to go to the grocery store and make healthy choices? It's really not hard. Really not hard to take a fucking plantain, which is as hard as a rock, and steam it in a pan for like 10 minutes. And it tastes like this delicious wild banana. It's not hard to make a ground beef patty, ground pork patty, ground chicken patty, ground anything patty. It's not hard to just go for walks, go to the gym. It's not hard to take supplements. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm not a great debater. I'm just a simpleton. I'm just a simpleton living my life in a simple environment. But it seems to me that in my simplicity, I seem to be smarter than many of you. I know this because I was surrounded just a week ago by many people who were smarter, richer, and more driven than I am. And I know what they had to do to get there. So if I know what they had to do to get there, I know what I had to do to get here. I know what they had to learn to get there. I know what I had to learn to get here. I know what you must learn to get to where I am. Yes, I'm smarter. And I hope the stupid people see this. Not the smart people. They already know. I hope the stupid people see this. That's the thing. You can have this. This isn't out of reach. You put together a 5-year plan for yourself. Have a 5-year, a 10-year, a 20-year, and a 30-year. And you put those plans together. And you stop spending bullshit time and bullshit money on bullshit things, hanging out with bullshit people, doing bullshit stuff, and overspending on your bullshit cell phone. It's like you live in a city. Let's plot your escape. Let's say you live in a city. You're spending $2,000 a month on rent. You double the money in your gasoline and your scooter because you drive a scooter because you live in a city. Double the money on your groceries because it's more money. It costs more money to truck shit in there. There's more taxes. Is your job remote? If your job's remote, well then get the fuck out. If your job's remote, leave. I'm telling you right now, close up your lease and leave. Go find the cheapest fucking place out there. I don't care if it's North fucking Dakota. Go find rent there. Texas, Florida. Florida, there's tons of real estate available. Cheap. There's cheap real estate available in Florida, in the flyover states, in Texas. Here's a little expensive in New Hampshire, but you could do it. I don't want you to because I probably don't want you here, but you could do it. There are states where you can make a life for yourself. When people in California say, oh, we got beaches. It's like, yeah, you couldn't go to them during fucking lockdown, though. They'd arrest you for getting fresh air. They still got that mindset a little bit over there. What's the point in being over there if you can't actually enjoy these luxuries? Here, I'm as free as a bird. I drive up and down the seacoast all day long. But if you're remote, get out. Take a pay cut. You realize you don't have to make the same amount. You could take a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 pay cut, move out of there to someplace else, get cheaper rent, and you just lower your lifestyle. And start doing these things yourself. You don't have to go get a cup of coffee every morning. You can make it at home. It can be better, too. You move out. You go get a little rental somewhere in a place that is, a life. Actually, South Carolina, perfect example. Another place. It's cheaper to live there, too. Like, even in North Charleston. Move to a place where life is cheaper. Sure, your paycheck will go down. But in a time that, first of all, if you're working remote, move. Get out. And then and stay in that job until you find something that is actually better for you. Because most of these remote gigs and all these other jobs that you're in, they're soul-sucking anyways. This will give you an opportunity to do something in your community that you actually enjoy doing. Or start the business you've been longing to actually start. Or a side hustle that you've been really looking forward to getting after. And by a side hustle, I don't mean Uber Eats. Move someplace simpler. Start from scratch. It is a simpler life somewhere for you. You can still enjoy yourself. Oh, you don't want to leave your friends? Are they really your friends? Are they really your friends? Your social groups? Most of the people you talk to are online anyways. I think you should really recalculate your life. Because the state that I'm living is really doing that. And it's really bringing the power back to the citizen. The choice back to the citizen. For how long, who knows? That was the one thing that Maine had that New Hampshire didn't have, was they sold weed. Legally. Recreationally. But then there's legislation going about where possibly they could be jacking up the fucking prices on that stuff by 40%. They do that, and then literally New Hampshire, all they have to do is legalize it here. And guess what? Nobody's going to Maine anymore. They're not paying those prices. They'll go right, instead of going over to Elliott or Berwick or Kittery or York, they're coming here. No state taxes. None. No sales taxes. None. The cops here don't even give a shit about weed anymore. They just got to do it because it's, the law. But they really don't give a shit. They don't. Go find a simpler life for yourself. I don't know what these people are complaining about. It's just because they're dumb. New York City, that thing scares me, though. With all the defund the police possibly making a comeback, taxing richer, whiter neighborhoods. Oh, it's just a concept. It's just a frame, a reference. You referenced it, bro. You referenced it. You referenced it. You can invest for free. There's so many things you can do for free. Man. It's crazy. I don't know. Kind of self-reflective. But that's the thing. It's like I've made so many smart decisions about how to lower my financial lifestyle, how to cheapen it, how to, make it more efficient. And it's like, stuff ain't expensive. It isn't. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. Maybe because I'm wearing terrible sunglasses, but I don't see what you're on about. I don't see what you're on about. I don't see $1,000 cell phone. I don't. Why? Because I didn't buy one. I don't see a $100 phone bill. Why? Because I don't have one. I don't see a $200 electric bill. I don't see it. It's not here. I know where it can be. It's not here. I don't see a $200 grocery bill. I don't even see a $100 grocery bill. I don't know what you're buying, but I guarantee you're going through the middle aisles more than I am. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't see what you're seeing. I don't think it's justified. You can literally ask me what I'm doing. You could ask me. You could ask me what I'm doing. I'm not going to offer it anymore, really. You can ask me. I'm doing it. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep putting aside more money. Keep investing more and more. Planning for my future, living in the now, ignoring the stupid because it's not coming here. It tries, but we got a lot of good cops. I'll be honest with you. It gets as far as the first beach. And then it comes to a screeching halt. Honestly, I don't think I could see myself living anywhere else. You can find me on Instagram at +_sarcasm. You can hit me up at my website, positivesarcasm.com. Go to the contact page there. Hit me up there. Questions, concerns, comments. Posing music for fitness competitors. But in the meantime, you can find me anywhere where podcasts are available, including in downloading and streaming from my website directly, positivesarcasm.com. But I'm going to enjoy the rest of this day. Thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. Another rant coming next week. Man, what a beautiful day. Thank you for listening, watching, subscribing. Talk to y'all next week. Record here from outside the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful breezy seacoast for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.